Hi, I'm Alan. I was Zorianna Kit, and today we review Old Henry. Stars Tim Blake Nelson. This is your fairly typical standard Western. I'm kind of interested to see what you think of it first before I go into it.
Well, I don't think I would call it your typical standard Western because it stars someone that is usually a supporting actor. Tim Blake
Nelson. Especially in Westerns.
Yeah. I mean, Tim Blake Nelson, like he's in the Coen Brothers movies. He was in The Watchmen, but he always plays these amazing supporting characters that are usually like hillbillies and kind of hick. Not in Watchmen though, but there's always like a comedic aspect to, like a self-deprecating aspect to the roles that he tends to play. Like he doesn't play for laughs, but but we do laugh at him. Mm-hmm. But here, oh my gosh, he is this movie. He's got this, Clint Eastwood / Unforgiven-esque, swagger here, and it is all him. And it's this slow burn that just reveals itself slowly, and listen, a lot of blood is shed. It is violent, but not in a way where I found that it to be gratuitous. But I'll let you pick up where I'll let you agree or disagree with me.
Well, I liked it, but I just felt like I've seen a lot of these Western standoff type movies, and Tim Blake Nelson's great. I think what I like about him is the fact that when you do watch him as a supporting character and he gets serious, he has kind of that glint of a mean streak that you could find, and he really plays into that. But honestly, as much as I like the movie, I feel like I've seen this before. I've just kind of seen, and you can kind of see the beats play out and know what's happening next. I don't know what your experience with Westerns are, but it seems like the majority of Westerns I've seen is this, hey, they're holed up in this house. The bad guys are on the outside. The good guys are on the inside. And now we got this kind of fight going on. And to me, that's essentially what this movie is. And, I'm kind of like left feeling, all right, great telling of this, standard story. And now let's move on.
Yes, you're right. In terms of the story, we've seen it, but we've never seen it with Tim Blake Nelson.
Yeah.
And honestly, like he is the reason to see this movie. Mind you, I do have to say, Stephen Dorff as the villain, I didn't know until over an hour into the movie that was actually Stephen Dorff. It was just a brilliant piece of casting. It's just the casting here is so good.
Yeah. And Trace Adkins, I mean, that's a guy you can't not miss.
Exactly. I mean, to me, the weakest part was the actor who played Tim Blake Nelson's son. I thought he was a little too earnest and eager. But that's out of all the characters, that one is the one you kind of care about least for me anyways. But I just thought this movie was just really not to be missed. I loved it. I loved it. I was so riveted. I thought that everything, like, even though the story, isn't original, the way everything unfolded, everything is so mysterious. We don't know who anyone is, where they're from, where they're going, what their real identity is. And just everything reveals itself really slowly and deliberately. And it unfolds in a way where it gets to this reveal at the end where you're just like, whoa. I mean, there's going to be reveals, but it's like, well, what is that reveal going to be? And I loved this reveal. I thought it was great.
Well, so I'm okay with the reveal. I just not blown away by it. I mean, it's kind of like, I think part of it is that as mysterious as the Tim Blake Nelson character was, I don't necessarily think that it was leading exactly to that reveal. I think had it been someone fictional or something fictional or whatever, not being super general about the reveal, that still would have just been as good of a movie as it was. I don't know if that's a backhanded compliment or not, but I was not blown away by the reveal. But I think once it happened, it did get the gears clicking in the movie, and to where the final set piece was just like, okay, I'm really bought in at this point.
I felt that it captured living what life was like during that time. I felt like the father-son story of a father trying to protect his own son. There were these underlying arcs and stories in that, so that it's not just, oh, black hats versus white hats and we're all gonna end up in a house shooting each other. I really felt that there was arcs and characters were really well defined and well developed before we were even revealed who they were or what they were doing there. Those characters, they came to us fully formed, and then it was us to slowly watch the layers being peeled back.
Yeah,
I felt that everything was very deliberate and done so well in that process, even though the storyline wasn't 100% original. I mean, how many Westerns? I mean, your options are limited.
And the other thing you mentioned, which I will agree with, is that, a lot of these Western movies have been coming out, and I think there's a sense in a lot of people of wanting to get off that grid and go back to the old days where we just lived off the land. And this movie certainly feeds into that and says, hey, maybe we need to have more basic skills as a human being than being able to post a good update on your Facebook or social media. Maybe we do need to start learning to work the land once again.
Well, so Alan, I feel like I loved this movie so much more than you did, and I know what my rating is, so I'm trying to count a few notches down from that. And I think you liked the story, but you liked the movie, but you liked it but didn't love it, and you didn't find it to be wholly original. I think you gave it a 6.
I gave it a 6.5. I mean, there's just a little bit. If you are a fan of Westerns, this is absolutely a movie to see.
I'm not a fan of Westerns at all. Like this is not a movie that I would normally sign up for to go see.
Yeah, it's not your big epic Western.
No,
I think that plays to the benefit of this movie as well.
It's not News of the World, which was last year's Western with Tom Hanks. Definitely not that. It's definitely on a much smaller level, but it just I was so surprised at how much I enjoyed it. But I do have to say, I think this whole movie hinges on Tim Blake Nelson and him having this starring role. So
I mean, if Tom Hanks had killed a few people in News of the World, that would be a different story. But clearly, you love this movie. You love Tim Blake Nelson's performance and the story. So I'm feeling confident. You gave it an 8.
I gave it an 8.5, actually. I surprised myself even with that, because just Stephen Dorff too. I'm like, wow, like, when have we, like, it's been a while since we've seen him on the big screen. He's been doing a lot of television lately. I just thought it was so great that this director assembled a cast that normally would you ever even think that Stephen Dorff and Tim Blake Nelson would be in the same sentence? Like, never. But it worked. It worked great.
All right. So, So what did you think of Old Henry? Are you a big fan of Westerns like us? If you are, please like, subscribe, comment. Let us know what you thought about it. And with that, let's get out of here.